January 24th, 2023, Miami International Airport. What started as a simple missed Frontier flight escalated into chaos within moments. Two passengers were informed they had arrived too late to board, and instead of calmly pleading their case, one of them suddenly hurled a plastic sign holder over the counter in frustration.
I heard the commotion riding back out right here. I think she threw some of the plexiglass or her phone. I'm not sure exactly. I just know the girl go, ah, and then blood.
Okay.
And then they were raising Cain.
Okay.
Two females. I did take a picture or a video I didn't get this, which I wish I would have, but I was more worried about
watching it and
making sure everything was right. And the reason why is because it almost got out of hand. The officers approached rather gently, if you ask me. They approached smartly, but let's calm this thing down. So they did a good job there. The one girl was just off the hook. The one with the colored hair in the, let's see, so I can reference the girls and you'll know who's who.
You had one in pink?
Yeah, she's the second girl. So this is the second girl. This is the first girl that caused the biggest commotion right there.
Okay.
So the one in the pink was causing the commotion, but not at first. She spun out, she bled off the other girl, she saw it going off. Get off my friend, get off my friend. You know what I mean? Going off, dropping F-bombs. That's because two officers approached her because she's out of control. Then she got out of control, and he tried to approach her and then calm her down, and then she was like, don't touch me, I ain't done nothing wrong. So he was kind of like a little passive, which is fine.
Okay.
Then they smartly moved her out of here, and she's going crazy and spazzing out, and they had to put her down to the ground at some point. I was like, they need to put her down. They were like too nice on us.
Yeah.
That's when the other girl got loose, and the two officers were down. I had gotten off my bike now, and I saw her coming, and I was ready to jump on her at any moment because he had to catch up, and she had full access to his gun, one of the officers.
Right.
And that's what I was worried about, so that's why I stayed. Normally I get the hell out of there. It's none of my business. So I saw that he tackled her and did a great job, and they got her cuffed rather quickly. This one took a longer time, and that was pretty much.
Do you know what the fight was about? Did you hear what it was about?
No, but I already suspect from Frontier. It's probably the world's dangerous job.
Right.
Frontier and Spirit ticket counter.
Right.
It's probably because they don't have their seat, or they don't have they have to pay for the boarding pass, or pay for the extra bag, pay for your backpack. It's all on the airline's issue, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But the officers approached smartly and did a good job. And I just was worried about their safety. That's why I kind of hung out.
Okay, so you saw the throw the phone or the plastic thing. You thought?
I think it's the plastic.
Right.
Cut her in the face. When I looked, because it was going crazy, I was kind of minding my own business. I kind of just sitting on my bike like this, what's going on? That's when I seen the other girl like this, and instant blood coming from her face from the ticket counter lady.
Okay.
And then the officers were about right here. They finally approached as they're going ballistic. And then
Did you see them attack the officers at all at any time?
Yeah, I did see the girl in the pink pants, the non-starter, became a fuel to the fire. She did, I would say she did, in my opinion, she attacked the two officers.
Two officers, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I was this, I got, if she even went near that gun, I was going to tackle her shit out of her myself. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say yes. First of all, they attacked the officer here. The one girl by herself. She was nasty and spinning and kicking and everything, and they did everything kind of trying
Gently,
to stand off.
right.
And so she was resisting arrest for sure and attacking assault on the officer, and then the other one was assault on two officers down on the ground and potentially could have been shot.
Okay.
I mean, if he didn't know the situation and you saw this thing and you saw a girl running after her and the way their guns were sticking up like this, she's coming from the back.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And I know he has your name, so good. I'll reach out to you if I need anything. Thanks, Jim.
No problem. Easy day.
Thanks, bud.
Que si puede tú puedes caminar.
Where did you say where the Joanne?
I'm getting the info. I'm getting her info now. What happened?
Ellos entran para acá o ellos.
Hello, there was passenger, it was a lot of witnesses.
Lee Morrison. He is one of those TSA guys on a bike. That's his contact number. He heard a loud commotion, caught his attention. He looked over and saw the subject
Pink. The one in pink.
The one pink through unknown item. You didn't see what item it was?
This.
What is this stuff?
What's this called?
This.
Clipboard.
Display, plastic display?
Plastic display.
Sign display? Plastic sign display.
Exactly.
No, rescue is supposed to be coming.
So unknown item at her face. Immediately saw blood coming from her face. Her Miami-Dade County officers arrived and saw the two subjects in the system. What else do you need, bro?
No, that's it, I guess. For now. She was being with them.
Okay.
She's got rate. She says you can't get a refund. You're the one's late. She was helping her friend that was polite and everything else, but then she goes, what, you're helping her get the refund? I go, you guys can't fly. She got crazy irate, grabbed one of these plastic signs, displays, and threw it, hit her right in the top of the nose, and then we had a TSA tight agent, heard the commotion, and when he started turning around, they came this way, saw the thing flying and hitting her in the face.
She threw shit at the counter, then they came over, they calmed him down, and they immediately fucked it off of me. And then they tried to do it nicely, and they couldn't.
Got it?
All right, good. She's cuffed? We got
Like I'm cuffed. You talking about my cuff? You clearly see it. How would you hurting me?
Relax.
Just stop pushing my arm up. I'm with you. Give me my phone. Hey, look, do you not see this? Do you not see this? You're trying to hurt me on purpose on my mama. Get me the fuck off this ground. Get me the fuck off this ground. Get me the fuck off this ground. Get me the fuck off this ground.
Relax. Relax. Relax.
Get me off the ground. Give me my phone so I can call my mama.
You're not going to call no one for now, okay? Relax.
Hey Siri.
Relax.
Hey Siri. Get the fuck off of me. Get off of me.
Hey, we're not
Get off of
going
me.
to get off you, okay? Relax.
Stop driving me.
You need to relax,
You
okay?
need to get the fuck out of here, say.
You need to
You can do
relax.
that all
You
you
need to
want. You can do that all you want. You can do that all you want. You're not hurting me at the end of the day. Get the fuck off of me. Right, you put the fuck right in the head.
Oh, the victim.
Sometimes escalation doesn't begin with violence. It begins with a belief that you're being treated unfairly, that someone is disrespecting you, that the rules shouldn't apply to you in this moment because your situation is different. And once that belief takes hold, every response after that starts to feel justified, even when it's making things legally worse. That's exactly the behavioral pattern that unfolds here. Two passengers arrive too late to board their scheduled flight. Airline staff inform them they won't be allowed on the plane. At this point, nothing criminal has occurred. This is a customer service dispute. A frustrating one, but still civil in nature, and this is the first critical fork in the road. Because from the passenger's perspective, this feels like denial of service. Something negotiable. Something emotional. But from the airline's perspective, boarding deadlines are federally regulated procedures tied to aircraft safety, departure slots, and crew compliance rules. So when the employee explains that they cannot board, the conversation moves from customer service into confrontation, and confrontation becomes the fuel. One of the passengers becomes verbally aggressive, then physically animated, then reaches for a plastic sign display from the ticket counter and throws it directly at an airline employee, striking her in the face and immediately causing visible bleeding. That moment changes everything. Because now, this is no longer an argument about refunds or missed flights. It's a felony-level battery. And legally speaking, once an object is intentionally thrown at someone in a manner capable of causing injury, officers now have probable cause for aggravated battery even before they arrive on scene. That's the second turning point. Law enforcement approaches not to mediate, but to detain. Initially, their tactics are calm, direct, non-confrontational. They attempt verbal control, asking the involved passenger to step aside, to separate from the crowd, to reduce stimulus. Why? Because officers are legally authorized to detain individuals suspected of committing a violent offense in public space, especially inside secured transportation environments like airports. But this is where the internal belief system kicks back in. I didn't do anything wrong. That statement becomes the psychological anchor for everything that follows, because if you believe you've done nothing wrong, then every instruction begins to feel illegitimate. Every hand placement feels like aggression. Every attempt at control feels like an attack. So when officers attempt to physically guide her away from the ticket counter, she resists. Verbally at first. Then physically, pulling away. Twisting, dropping her weight. Spitting, kicking. And this begins the escalation chain. Verbal aggression leads to physical resistance. Physical resistance leads to officer control techniques. Control techniques lead to ground stabilization. Ground stabilization leads to interference from the second passenger. And now, a second suspect enters the legal framework, not because of the airline dispute, but because of interference with a lawful detention. She begins shouting at officers to get off her friend, moves toward the officers while they're attempting to restrain the first suspect, and according to witness accounts, physically engages with law enforcement in an attempt to disrupt the arrest. This becomes the third turning point. Because interfering with officers during an arrest, especially in a manner that introduces risk to officer safety, transforms the situation from passive resistance into resisting arrest with violence. And there's an additional layer here that often goes unnoticed. When officers are engaged in physical restraint, their equipment becomes vulnerable. Holstered firearms, tasers, radios. All of it becomes accessible in a dynamic environment. Witnesses on scene later explain their concern that one of the suspects had open proximity to an officer's weapon while another officer was grounded during the struggle. That risk alone legally justifies escalation and use of force protocols. So officers transition from verbal compliance requests to physical containment. Handcuffs are applied, movement is restricted, and the suspects are removed from the public terminal area. But the irony becomes clear in what's said during the arrest. Requests for badge numbers, statements about lawsuits, accusations of wrongdoing, all based on the belief that this started as a refund dispute. But legally, the refund dispute ended the moment the sign display was thrown. From that point forward, every attempt to fight back against perceived unfairness was actually strengthening the elements required for additional charges. Disorderly conduct becomes battery. Battery becomes resisting arrest. Resisting arrest becomes resisting with violence. And suddenly, what started as being denied boarding becomes criminal booking. Both women are ultimately charged with aggravated battery, resisting arrest with violence, and disorderly conduct. And here's the real-world takeaway. You don't get arrested for being upset. You get arrested for how you act while you're upset. Because once physical force enters the equation, even something as simple as throwing an object, the law stops negotiating with your intentions and starts documenting your actions. And in environments like airports, where safety compliance is tightly regulated, that transition happens fast. So the next time a situation feels unfair, frustrating, or personal, remember that arguing with policy may delay your trip, but escalating physically can cancel a lot more than just your flight.